but I said all the steps. So if you can write a plan, like mentally, like all the steps, like, oh, I have to, like, say you want to be an actor or something, then you need to go start signing up, filling out paperwork. You need to start finding an agent. You need to start taking headshots. You need to start doing this. Like, oh, I want to be I don't know, a mechanic. Then you need to sign up tomorrow. You need to do this and this and this. As long as you can mentally figure out how to get there physically, you can do anything you want in the whole world. You just have to mentally think it. Because if you don't think about it, then you'll never be able to do it. Because it's when both come that you make it reality. You can make anything reality. That's why perception is so important. Because once you get to that point and you understand, you can take care of like anything. You just have to think. So many people are just too busy not thinking. That's another thing why I was talking about oh yeah, the whole fucking clock thing, the clock analogy. Alright, it's just a clock. There's like, but I don't say it's like a machine or anything, or like, because I feel like for most of my life I always thought it was like that. It was like them. It was like them. It's not them. It's like we did this to ourselves because we stopped thinking. Because I mean this in the most understanding way. It's because they became like too many people, because we evolved to a point where we didn't need to rely on this and this. This is why you're alive today, you know, because your ancestors understood it. That if you mentally could do it, you could physically do it. They just didn't even understand that they were understanding that, because that was just life. Because there was nothing, there was no work life, home life, everything just like you should be. It was symbiotic. Like everything was just one thing, because it was a small thing. But now there's like billions and billions of people. That's impossible. Like there's too many things to do and focus your time on. And the easiest thing is the thing that's like in your hand when you have like your fucking phone, bro. You know what's crazy? I've been getting better and better. My fucking phone, like the battery, like won't hold charge. And it's been for like 3 weeks. So I need to get that fixed, but I'd be busy as fuck. Like I schedule out my day so I'm full from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. Ever since this shit don't take a charge, like all I can do is like charge it and it'll stay on for like 5 minutes. I make a phone call, bro. I'm telling you, that's when everything started to click, bro. Because I'm not thinking about that shit. I literally don't think about that shit, bro. And I don't talk. The only person I talk to is like my son, his mom, and my mom. Oh, and my mom. That's it. So I have no reason to even fix the phone. I honestly feel better like off the fucking phone. Yeah, I like to watch videos, but literally all I'm watching videos about right now is just perception, consciousness, and if you look back at like ancient civilizations, just the way they used to like practice religion was usually through psychedelics, which is a point I will make in a second. Because I'm getting way fucking off track. Everything I said, I've meant. Every single thing I've said, 100% true. Everything. Well, except for my whole thing. That's my theory. I'm finna win a Nobel Prize, they probably, hopefully it don't silence me. If the very first person that watches this, whoever it is, fuck, is it gonna be Apple? Is Apple watching? Fuck it, I'm not like saying it wrong. Fuck it. If I go, I go. I gotta help a couple people. Because what I'm saying isn't bullshit, so it's like if it gets passed around, a lot of people are gonna understand a lot of things, and a lot of people are gonna be like, where did this come from? Who the fuck let the cat out the bag? Okay, so reality, understanding this is reality. I'm just talking about the symbiosis of everything happening at once, and that's reality. And then understanding that is your reality. What you're seeing is actually your brain. You know, it's crazy, but once you know, then you have perception, then you have consciousness, then you can act on it. And if you can make a plan and you can act on it, you can do anything you want. Because, like I said earlier, like you're walking around, you understand everyone's missing the fucking point. missing the point. You ask anyone, like, what's bothering you. If they really, like, if they told you something, like death and stuff, I understand that, like, there's certain pain. Pain is forever, though. I believe pain is forever. I feel like pain is like a memory, a picture. Like, if you think about it, you can feel it. But you don't always have to think about it, because if you always think about bad stuff, you just torture yourself. And I'm speaking from experience. But, yeah, so if you're walking around, you just understand that it's like, no one's focused. Like, no one's, like, focused. Like, there's probably people out there that are focused, but I promise you, the majority of people, especially in fucking America, are not focused, and they don't understand what's going on. They're just like, they're cogs in the clock. They just go. They just go. They just go. Like, it's a system, bro. Like, you're literally, like, supposed to go to school, you're supposed to go to college, you're supposed to get a job, you're supposed to work till you die. I know, work till you're, what, 62, 64, something like that? And then have a house, have some kids, live life, and then die. Never understanding that whatever you truly wanted, like, that was my dream, you could have done if you just understood what reality it is and understood that your brain can make anything happen. Like, you just have to have a plan. And a plan, like I said, is just the brain's algorithm to make something come into physical reality. Like, do you have a plan? Like, what's your real plan? Anything you really want to do. But there's one limit. There's one limit, and that will lead me into my next topic. The one limit is it has to be physically possible in this reality. That's why you can't, like, imagine something that happen, because there's no way to make it happen, because there's no plan. Even crazy shit, you probably, because if you think the first time they built a rocket, the first thing they had to write was a plan. Which means the first thing they ever thought of, they all were thinking at the same time, but not understanding what's going on right now. They did that on their brain. Like, everything's been done on their brain, or maybe some inventors were, like, conscious and understood that it's just processing your plan to make things happen. But I feel like a lot of times people just figure shit out, just like off their mental, because your brain's so strong in this world. Like, even without knowing what I'm telling you, you can still be really successful. But imagine if you were that successful and you had understanding and resources to do more, because you understand that anything that's up here that's physically explainable can be physically here, as long as you're physically able, or something's physically able. It has to be in this physical reality. Now, I don't know, but you might be asking the question, well, what if somehow I could get my mental out of the physical realm that I'm in right now? How far could I go? And what would it be like? And where would it be? Everyone's like, where the fuck? I was in my head, I was tripping. Where the fuck is it? Where's your brain go? What happens to your brain? You know, honestly, I believe psychedelics hit that thing that's like, remember how I told you there's no way you could, like, physically, because it happens at the same time, measure when the two things happen? I believe psychedelics let you stay in between the fucking, what do you call it? Like, in that space, and hold you there. That's why people describe things physically, because you're still kind of physically here, but mentally you're, like, starting to go, like, to where your brain could really reach its full potential, bro, and you're just holding yourself there. And you can, just like in the real world, anything your brain thinks, you can think, but you have to, like, understand that that's what's happening. Your brain's trying to tell you something, because it's trying to evolve into, like, whatever it could be over here, but it doesn't know how to, like, because it can't, because you're still connected, so you won't snap, you know? That's a good metaphor. So you stay there, and I believe that's what fucking, like, DMT and psychedelics and all that stuff is. I believe you're just perceiving our reality different. Because I read or I heard it on some I forget. You can call it fake or not. I'm pretty sure it's on Rogan or something that like some dude. There was like an ayahuasca trip that a group of people did that didn't know each other on like a lake. I want to say in Milwaukee or like Minnesota. It was like Midwest there. You probably Google that shit. And everyone did it, and everyone was tripping and looking across the lake. And I believe everyone was like right here, and they all said they saw like the same figure thing, but they couldn't describe what it is because their brains were trying to like do it, but they were still stuck here. That's the thing. That's what I believe. Because, and then if you want to get even crazier, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind. That the fucking sorry, I'm cussing so much. I'm just so amped to finally say this because I've been wanting to say it, but I don't know how it will come out. But you're gonna pull up. But you know, you're like this psychedelics, right? Psychedelics. So in ancient times, like ancient civilizations, multiple ancient civilizations used to, you know, do the psychedelics. So what if they were perceiving is what happens mentally before you like peace out, because they base like their ideas on heaven and stuff off trips and like shit that they see. But what if it's not heaven? What if that's just the elevated next dimension or whatever dimension we gotta get thrown into? Because we already know there's like 14, 13, I forget. Physicists have been like, there's this many dimensions. I don't even know how they do that. You can't even see a tesseract because it's not possible in the physical world. You can see it in your mental if you go to that, but that's not a thing. But I feel like they based their heaven on like right after. Because if someone had been like messing around with that, what if they found a way that like they could die, but they could like revive them or something? And they'd be like, it's just like I saw. Dude, could you imagine? And that's like what people view heaven. It's just another, heaven is literally like right next to our reality. None of us are even realizing it because everyone's just focused on what's going on right here. I'm telling you, this shit could help so many people, bro. Like, you don't even have to get to the point of like trying to experiment with psychedelics or anything. I'm not encouraging that to anyone. I'm saying just getting to this point and then understanding like this, and then understanding reality, and then understanding like everything's capable, and like everyone's just walking around. Everyone's just walking around, even people who are in charge just walking around, and they don't even understand what's going on like around us, bro. Like there's things going on around us. People talk about energy, people talk like Buddha and all that stuff, all that crazy stuff, bro. Like people talk about everything. People have been talking about it. It's not, Buddha's not crazy. I think he understood because he used to meditate. I've meditated to the point where like I'm laying in bed, I'm completely numb, and then my face starts going, and the last thing is my eyes. I swear, it's because your eyes are like, people say, the window into your soul. Your soul, I believe, also known as the observer, or basically what you are, is what's the thing that makes the brain work. And that's why it's like, if I am barely getting up to the point where I think this is perception and reality and stuff. I couldn't even I couldn't even understand what even made us, like, what even is that thing that made this thing. Like I say, perception and reality is all physical. What was before the physical? Was there mental before the physical? And what if the mental somehow broke into the physical? And we're just the mental, and the mental just rides on, bro. Could you imagine how many people would find relief if that was the case? Like, you don't know what it is, but you keep going. Not your physical, this is gone. Do you know what I mean? Like religious things with like, oh, because I believe it's all just like, we're all just praying to the energy, and we've like made the energy so negative. It's like good and the bad, and everything's around you all the time, and you attract what you want, and all these people are just attracting bullshit, bro. But now that I'm at this understanding, I do anything I want. I have things to do. You know, I can't just like hold this information. So I was like, what if I just dropped that on Facebook? I was like, hell nah. It's gonna be like older people. I need younger people to understand this. Older people who watch this too. If you're older, shouts out to you. But I mean, it's the youth really I'm trying to raise. Because once there's like multiple steps to the plan, but if you need help with your plan to get to this point, to understand deeper what I'm talking about, just like I said, anything I can think of mentally can come into fruition physically. Okay, so let's do this together. I have my journal. My thoughts. Very nice. Okay. So let's say, and this is coming from a person who's in therapy, backs therapy 100%, but make sure you like your therapist. At the very beginning when I was like really like off my rocker, like not totally like not in control, like not at this understanding, like way before I could like understand that I could even control. I thought other people were in control of my mode, which is probably what most people feel, which is fucking crazy. Because the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. That's why I'm indifferent to bad stuff happening. If I don't love it, I'm indifferent. Because what does it do for me to feel bad, except hurt myself? Alright, let's do this plan. Okay, let's say some really bad stuff happened in your life. Like bad shit, like just bad. So that's gonna be step one. Addressing, just like if you fell and you cut your body, you can like hurt your brain. So addressing what hurts is step number one. You know what? I'm gonna put this in a part 3. One second.